Antimatter Games are back with another episode of Through The Gunsights, your peek behind the curtain of 83 development. This month we are focusing on our weapon art. We'll take a look at our workflow for creating awesome and authentic guns that add to the feel of a Cold War game. We will also be looking at our current weapons and learning more about our art pipeline by talking to two of our developers. So let's get started!
We have a range of weapons currently in the game that we're using for playtesting. We have, for the NATO side, we have the L1A1, we have the L7A2, the iconic L4A4 Bren, the L42A1, and for Pact we've got the AK-74, the favourite PKM, the RPK, and the SVD sniper rifle. We're also working on sidearms, grenades, smokes, and a few other things that will add much variety to the gameplay. Getting weapons into the game is a bit of a process, as with most things, but it starts with design picking a weapon. This is then handed over to our weapons artists. The artists do more research for better visual reference, followed by the initial blockout. This stage isn't normally the final form, but it's just a good representation of the overall shape and silhouette of the weapon. The blockout is then handed over to the animation team, and they get things set up and integrated into the build. It's then over to code to build out the weapon data and to balance it. Once we're happy with the weapon, we move into a more refined polish pass. For animation, they continue the first and third person animations, VFX starts to work on muzzle flashes, and of course the weapons artists finally finish the modelling and texturing. Currently, we've covered LMGs, rifles and snipers, so the next we're going to be tackling something a little bit shorter range like the Scorpion and the MP5. After that, we have a few bigger things in the works, but nothing yet is confirmed. Playtests are great for weapon balance. It's an opportunity for us to get a wide range of the team handling weapons rather than just one designer or one coder reviewing it. Currently the most satisfying weapon for me is the PKM for the Pact, and for NATO it's got to be the Bren.
Now we're going to be catching up with Pedro, our weapons artist. He has years of experience with weapon art and has created some incredible assets for our current and previous games.
So the main 3D program that I use is 3ds Max. I start the weapon by making a mid-poly blockout. Mid-poly for me is a middle ground between the high poly and the low poly stage. For the high poly I use a combination of 3ds Max and ZBrush. I use Marmoset toolbag for all my bakes, and I texture in Substance Painter. I like this workflow because it allows us to quickly test how the weapons look and feel in-game. If you want to become a weapon or a prop artist, my advice would be to study reference. Look at the world around you, see how things are put together. Analyze it, because really that's 80% of the work. Modeling in its most basic form is figuring out how things are made and then finding a way to replicate them in 3D.
Thank you for joining us for our second look through the Gunsights. Next month's episode will be in the new year. We have a host of exciting new content to talk about, and we can't wait to bring you along for the ride. For those that celebrate it, all of us at AMG wish you a happy holiday and an excellent new year. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you on the battlefield.